Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's the MDL Season 30 here. My name is Dinko. I'm going to be joined by Hawker, and it's been quite some time since I was on the microphone, and especially beside you, Hawker, so this is going to be fun. We're going to get right into the action. It's Valiance taking on AGO.
Yeah, I don't know where Ago's flag has gone, but hopefully they can get it back soon as we get underway into the pistol round here on Cash. Always a fun map. Love a bit of Cash. Probably my favourite map in matchmaking, Dinko.
I don't know. Cash is a map that is quite divisive. I think I've got bored of it. I think it's a little too stale for me, but we'll see what happens here as AGO are going to make their way up towards the highway position. A split coming in, having two players towards min, one in Squeaky, and the early kill comes in for PHR as he wants to put pressure onto the bomb site. The rest of Caper and the AGO squad will hop right through the smokes. The kill's coming in. Esperanto is the only player getting something back here, but a 3v2.
Good kill from Grubby. He gets the dink onto Otten, so the damage really being done right now. Ago all over the A bomb site. Valiance are just going to have to look for any sort of angles they can find here, hoping that someone from Ago makes a mistake. That's just not happening right now. I think the CTs are going to have to give up on this round. They don't even have much to save, though, so I guess they're just going to try and play for some exit kills, and that's a nice shot from Nexa. A little bit of extra cash goes into his back pocket, but the round has already been over and done with as Caper finishes it off with a nice couple of kills.
Nice little execute from AGO. It's important that they find those early kills, though. If they don't find those early engagements and they don't win them, then that makes things very difficult for the Poles to get onto the A bomb site. But once they find those kills, everything just becomes a little bit more easy. So, nice setup to start things off. And Valiance are going to come into this one with a bit of a force buy. It's Kevlar on pretty much every player apart from Otto, who has got himself the scout and play. The rest of Valiance equipping the Deagles, the upgraded pistols, but AGL come into this with quite a heavy rifle buy along with two Mac-10s.
Yeah, Ago wanting to make sure they have minimal chance at losing this round, realizing it could be a force buy. We're seeing quite a few teams take the full save in these second rounds on the CT side, but Valiance go for that force buy you were talking about, so definitely good for Ago that they decide to buy so many rifles. And with the full investment from Valiance, they're not taking a massive risk in this round. They're playing a pretty standard default set. They've got two players towards mid, so they're leaving B slightly vulnerable. And now we start to see that rotate come in towards A. The scout will rotate over towards truck, and Ago will need to be careful if they decide to hit this A bomb site.
Yeah, they still should win the engagements, but it could be a little bit more difficult than they'd hope. I think it's just all about getting that information. They now know that they have at least a couple of these upgraded weapons. Next little spot that there's pretty much no one over towards the B site. They can continue to hold that heavy setup from the CT side over towards A. But here comes the commit. It's the Molotov towards the back of the bomb site. Quad is cleared. The flashbang ready as well. And the push comes in. AGO just looking to try and take these heads. But Hunter's the first man to find a kill. It's Furlan finished off. But Caper's going to walk around the corner. Ruby finds one as well, along with Sparrow. And now it's all on Nexa and Esperanto to pull themselves back into the site. They have found themselves two kills. Nexa had one. Hunter with the other before he fall. It's all on Nexa, doing damage with that MP9. Esperanto with the Deagle. Kills himself. I think he timed out. That's why he wasn't moving the entire round. But 2-0 here. AJ will pick up the start, and a technical pause will come in.
A little bit of an awkward one at the end there. It's kind of a shame as well, because Esperanto was definitely in position to help on that A-hold if he didn't lag out. Yep. Being in highway, he could have come over and made all the difference there, but not happening due to the technical problems I guess he was having. He is back on the server now, so shouldn't be too long until we're into this one. But definitely a nice cleanup from Ago there as they hit the site. I think they mollied out quad, which made a really big difference there, because they just didn't have to focus on that one angle. They could all fully focus on site, and that was where all the Valiance players were playing from. So it was just kind of the one angle they had to deal with. Definitely helped Ago tremendously on that push. And it means that they get to save 3 AKs, I believe, into this next round, which is very nice for them heading into round 3. Is Esperanto alright? Keeps trying to change teams and he keeps joining the T side.
I don't know. Don't know what's really happening with him, to be honest. Hopefully he comes back in and all's good. Maybe it's a bug. I mean, think he would do that over and over again.
Maybe his aim is so bad he keeps clicking on the T side instead of CT.
Yeah, definitely Esperanto doesn't have bad aim, but I was trying this out this new update, Hawka, for the OBS. They added a new version. They added a new encoder, and I'm using it currently, but it's just still a little bit strange. Obviously, I want to do a 6K bitrate, but it is going from 10,000 to 4,000 to 6,000 to 7,000. I don't know if that's affecting video. Let me know in the chat if there's any like lag problems or whatever, and we'll switch back to the old NVINC encoder. We'll try and get that sorted. If it is causing problems, hopefully it isn't. But I don't know if you're interested in all the technical side of things, Alex. Probably not.
I'm looking at the stream now, and it looks fine to me. So hopefully it's good for everyone at home. We're also going to have to remember that Esperanto doesn't actually have -3 kills.
Yeah.
Because he's just killed himself a couple of times.
He's just made it very hard to get good stats at this point.
Yeah.
He's going to have -3 for quite some time. He's going to need 3 kills just to pull himself back up to 0. And Furlan looks to try and strike into this one. Early damage being done towards the Forklift player. Esperanto needs to be careful he doesn't go to -4 here. He's dropped to 10 HP already. Hunter with 57.
Ooh. It's a bit awkward. Furlan trying to find the head on towards the site, but it's Spiro to come in from the other angle and make sure the opening kill comes through. Furlan has managed to get up close to the site, so they're just going to go for this push. I think it's going to be fairly easy at this point for Csgo. They are already on the A site. They have left the bomb behind, but these kills shouldn't be too tricky to find at this point.
Coming back to the play, into the fold, is Groovy over towards the B-bomb site, doing a very standard lurk, and he will just wait for the rotations. With a headshot coming in onto Esperanto, he's dropped early, and Nexa taking a lot of damage himself. He's dropped to 45. It's easy pickings here for Csgo, as expected. Coming into this, obviously Valiance didn't have the greatest amount of weaponry. So it's all about damage control for Csgo, and they've done an excellent job of keeping all 5 alive. I think the last time we casted Csgo, was it, I don't even remember.
I think they were in the loot bet hotshots.
Oh yeah, I think they were. I remember because we were casting at the time, and I thought maybe it was WePlay, but I think it definitely was loot bet. WePlay had Virtus Pro.
Yeah, the Polish teams, very prideful normally. It's a shame the Polish flag isn't there. I don't know why it's not.
Exactly. Actually, in Poland a couple of days ago, Alex, as you know.
You were. How was Poland? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it, actually. It was really good. Food was pretty good as well. I got some, like, traditional Polish soups. Pretty good stuff. There was a place from my hotel you could actually go and shoot a Kalashnikov. Didn't get time to do it, but that would be fun.
Wow. Wow.
They're not getting to shoot the Kalashnikovs this round, Alex. 2 players dropped early, and Valiance pick up the 2-man advantage.
I guess at this point, Csgo are just going to try and commit to this B site being so far behind, but Valiance are extremely well prepared. Esperanto finds another kill from the vet. Look at this B stack from Valiance as well. They're so ready for this push. Csgo will try and maybe reposition, try and find a different angle of approach. But at this point, they've just lost the opening fights. They tried to burst out on towards mid early on, and that's the risk when you go through those smokes. As soon as those flashbangs fail, you're going to be in a whole world of trouble. And unfortunately for Csgo, it seems like their chance at this round is now very, very slim.
So, in this game so far, you know, we definitely thought... Well, on paper, I would say Valiance are probably the better team by quite some distance at this point. I definitely picked them to be the favourites in this best of 1 matchup. Although Csgo, it's a pretty decent start. You could start to sort of lean towards maybe being a closer game just from what you've seen at the first 3. But you have to consider the gun rounds are where you really get the full story. Valiance just dismantle Csgo at the start of this one. Moto will pick up another kill on PHR. Oh, so lucky. It could have been a clean round here for Valiance, but he will get a kill back. Hunter's finished off, and PHR stays alive on 1 HP.
Don't know why he's leaving the bomb behind. There's 15 seconds. He might as well bring it with him, but he's going to try and move forwards, try and get some frags, and that will not happen. Ottend puts him to bed, and Valiance are going to get themselves on the board. I would be interested, if there's any Csgo fans in the chat, I would be interested to know if it's Spiro who's in-game leading right now, because I believe that they were trying it out with Spiro back in January and early February, but I'm not exactly sure who the in-game leader for Csgo is right now. So I would like to know exactly who it is, because these first few rounds have gone okay for them, and heading into this gun round, Spiro will be getting that AWP into his hands, definitely the weapon he is most known for, so we'll see if that makes the difference.
The chat said most people are saying Furlan is the in-game leader from Csgo. I know they have recently had Tao as the in-game leader of the team, and obviously he's been shafted over towards Virtus Pro, doing the in-game leadership role at that team. Csgo have had a bit of a shuffle in recent months, using probably their best player Snatchy over to Virtus Pro. So, Csgo, let's see if they can bring any of that firepower into this one, though. Round number 5, just over a minute left, and Furlan trying to take a fight. Letney is in the open. He's just taking the fight with the AUG, burning away. Has to go back towards MBK, but Esperanto is just letting him walk right in front of him. Could have got the double kill, only the one. Hunter will be able to pick up the headshot. Now it's all on Sparrow as Hunter decapitates PHR. And Sparrow with the AWP, Kyrie inside of A main. I don't think he can get too much done here, Alex.
Yeah, a couple rounds now where Csgo have maybe been a little too predictable, where they just commit right at the start of the round. And you can see Valiance are very willing to go for those fast rotates between the sites. And interestingly, we're going to see that second AWP saved for Valiance here. So obviously, Ottend is very comfortable with that sniper. The secondary AWP will go into the hands of Letney. And you can definitely use that second AWP on Cash, just kind of towards the B site, if you want to play it as more of an anchor AWP, if you just want to hold a long-range angle. But it looks like Letney will continue to play towards A, because Ottend has his AWP towards B. So those two AWPs taking themselves over on different sites, as Hunter gets a little aggressive into A main, but not going to fully commit to the push.
So there's a little bit of disagreement as to who the in-game leader is, Alex. Some people still think it's Sparrow, some think it's Furlan, but I think it's kind of, that's something that's pretty hard at this level to understand, is like the roles within the team. Because the reason we are so familiar with the roles that are in the top teams in the world is because they have a lot of interviews, right? A lot of media outlets are interviewing the players and the teams constantly, and we're finding out the updates of the teams. Whereas these type of teams at this level don't really get that media coverage as much, so we'll find out every couple of months the updates of the teams, and they do chop and change, so I guess it's just all speculation. Letney and Esperanto start things off well here against the Deco. The headshots coming in. It's Furlan, Caper, and Groovy left in a 3v5 with 45 seconds left. Finally, Furlan cracks something open.
Gets one kill towards the site. Grubby also gets gets a headshot, actually. I was going to say he gets the Deeg into his hands, but unfortunately Furlan's just forced to go through the smoke. It's not going to lead to anything, as Valiance will successfully hold on to the round win. Csgo made it a little scary for a second there, but Valiance always in control of the round. Heading into round 7, we will continue with the 2 AWPs in play for Valiance. Csgo also get one into the hands of Spiro. We've seen Csgo kind of go for these early pushes towards a site where they fully commit to one of the sites pretty early in the round. I think it's time to slow things down, but Hunter just goes through the smoke. What is this? How does that work? Gets a frag, but luckily, PHR finds the trade.
Yeah, anybody watching at home, that is not a good play. That is interesting to say the least. He could have got away, but luckily PHR punishes him for it. And we go back into a 4v4, but Hunter knows they're most likely going to go into the default, and if they don't, then perhaps he can catch off an executor of information. He does get that early kill and falls away inside of middle. Tries to get traded by PHR. So crazy plays happening, but essentially that kind of weakens the defensive Valiance, because now they have to pull a player away from A to look towards middle, and Csgo are going to do a simple execute in towards mid. Molotovs to kill out all the corners, flashbangs and utility being used up. The only player here to really do anything about it is Esperanto. So the silver lining, Alex, is they have got cover of A main with that AWP, so they've got that counter map control to work with.
And that information will definitely help, because as these nades come in towards B, Valiance can probably start to lean towards this B site very early on. Otten is here with the AWP. He's also got another man supporting him from CT. Spiro's going to move forwards. Nexa gets spotted out. First kill found, and Otten is still on the site with the AWP. He could try and stop them, but the timing goes against him. Still gets the kill, but needs to do a little bit more here. The time ticking away. He slows them down, but Esperanto comes in, looking for more. Esperanto finds a second, and there's only 10 seconds left to get that bomb back. Spiro spots him out, sprays away, and wins the round with just 5 seconds left on the clock. It was all about the 1v1 fight, and Spiro wins it.
Yeah, gets himself the triple kill into round number 7. He's really the MVP of that one for AGO. 5 kills that really were able to pull it back and give them the advantages, allow them to sort of pressure towards B. In the end, the bomb doesn't get planted. It just comes down to a meaty brawl on the site. And perhaps you could look at Valiance for that. They could maybe have set up a little bit more passive into the bomb site, but they just wanted to cut off the attack initially. They do lose quite a few players there. They get it into the 1v1 though. It's as though Valiance want to go for that early pick in towards A main again, but no one is here for AGO. In fact, it's a full commit in towards the B site. Nexa will pick up the first kill, traded back by Caper, but Nexa gets away that smoke before he falls, and that's going to slow the play here from AGO, and they might actually just consider backing off. For Valiance, this is kind of good, because look how much control they have. They've pushed all the way through A main here. That's Letney on the AWP, and close up towards middle of Esperanto. So they're going to gather so much information from this, and Letney can pick off a shot. Oh my god, Letney's actually been spotted, Alex. So he'll actually have to fall back in towards A main, and AGO will continue to sort of control the map towards main.
Yeah, Valiance remain comfortable leaving Letney alone on the A site, and they try and get aggressive towards Otten, trying to put that AWP to use, but Spiro just waited patiently. He gets his team the man advantage. Now AGO go out towards mid. Successful flashbang to find Esperanto. Letney's going to look for the refrag as they try and move in, but Letney gets 1 kill. Now Hunter has to stop them on B. He finds the first, gets the second, and it's all up to Spiro with the AWP. He moves forwards, but Hunter's just going to play the time, make sure that his teammate is there, but Hunter just gets all 3 kills alone. What a hold from Hunter there on B.
That's the type of skill Hunter has in his arsenal. He is at the top of the scoreboard, 10 and 5, and you've got to remember Esperanto was on -3 kills, so he's actually on 9 currently, Alex. And so you've got probably your 2 top players, individually speaking, at the top of the scoreboard performing together, and that's a good recipe for success. AGO have relied on the individual plays to win them the gun round that they won. Answer Sparrow, remember they won the first 3 rounds, and that was due to a couple of technical problems over on Valiance as well, you could say, as Esperanto did time out, and a little bit of back and forth in terms of whether he was stably on the server. And when we got into the first gun round, it was pretty convincing for Valiance, but answering straight back with the poles, and again Valiance win this one. So I'd say this is probably an easy pickup on paper for Valiance in this round number 9, but HO on the pistols, you never know.
Yeah, it is the full investment from AGO. Can't underestimate them. Pole's going to be sticking together in this round, realizing they may just need to overwhelm their opponents with only the pistols in play. Quite a few of the AGO players currently in towards Squeaky, so I assume they're just going to try and sneak onto the site and get that bomb planted, and as long as they smoke cross, they should be pretty set to do so. Letney's holding here with the AWP, but he's not going to be able to stop them from getting that bomb. First shot does land, that's the bomb dropped, but in comes the smoke. Slightly too late, but the bomb should be planted anyway.
Well, bomb is planted, and Hunter's spamming away, trying to get something done. Letney is just sitting back towards the cart. Smoker's going to go out and cover off A main. Now begin to allow a couple of these players to move on in closer, but the flashbang's great. That's going to force them away from the cart. And Furlong's got himself a kill. Esperanto and Otto, they'll find themselves 2 back, but Groovy snaps the head of 2. Nexa falls as well, as Hunter and Otto into the 2v2. Otto hits the headshot, but Groovy's already got himself another kill. This is triple, but the defuse coming in. Groovy going for the knife, but the defuse comes in, and Otto picks up the headshot. That was chaotic, Alex. Groovy nearly does it.
Oh, if Groovy just had 1 or 2 more bullets, maybe he could have stopped it, but he had to go for the knife towards the site. So unfortunate there, because he put in such a shift with that deagle to even bring that round close. Couple of incredible headshots. He even gets a little bit of luck as the spam goes through the door. Unfortunately for Ego, no round win this time, and Grubby
wow.
try and go for even more aggression, but it's Hunter who gets the best of the opening fights. Nice flash into A main, and Ottend will eventually deal with Grubby, whose mid push will fail.
Esperanto picks off Sparrow. Something I've noticed here from Valiance on the CT side is they're doing the fundamentals very well indeed. You know, if AGL puts some pressure inside of middle, they go straight away and take some A main control, and that's exactly what happened. Grubby barrels out mid, tries to take that early fight. As soon as he's dropped as well, Hunter knows he can push in towards A main, does it, gets the kill, and instantly cripples the attacker approach from AGO. Now Furlan is the last man alive, facing 5 players with a deagle. Tapped away, and on paper, you know, AGO weren't expected to get too much done into that one anyway, but Valiance do their job excellently.
Yeah, Valiance have definitely been willing to show some aggression on their CT side, like you were saying, and it's definitely worked for them in most of these rounds. Those flashes into A main have generally been successful. Sometimes you will see those AWPs also peeking towards B. Caper's just going to try and go through the mid-smoke once again. They're stuck at sandbags. Caper gets the first, not the follow-up, but there's a player coming in from above. It's Furlan to find the trade and bring us into a very quick 3v3 as, Furlan wins the fight against the AWP on the A site. And now Ego should get that bomb planted once it eventually comes towards this A site.
Hunter trying to tap at long range, and eventually AGL will get all the players over towards A. The bomb will begin to get planted. Up in that smoke, so CTs can't play with that. They need to find a kill quickly to pull it back into a 2v2 so they can try and get back into this retake a little easier. But Furlan, he's picked himself up. 1, make it 2 there on the retake attempt, and he's got himself the quad kill overall. A good run from AGL.
And great round from Furlan in particular. He opened things up with those 2 early frags towards mid, and then also managed to get those 2 kills at the end there. He had a sick round there for Ego, and that's kind of what was needed for Ego, I think, at this point. They needed someone to step up for them. They decided to switch things up a little bit with that quick mid aggression, and they tried that once or twice earlier, but this time they managed to push forwards before Valiance were ready for it. Into this next gun round, Ego this time are going for some early B aggression. The flash comes in, Furlan is going to clear checkers. So that's some early map control gained for Ego, and it will force a response from Valiance as Ottend starts to rotate towards B, and Esperanto also comes in, and the MP9 wins the first fight.
This is just straight back and forth, and AGO haven't really been able to get a round win and charm them together yet so far in these gun rounds, so this would be incredibly disappointing for them if they win one, lose one again, because that just starts to create that vicious circle where your economy gets a little bit of extra cash through the loss bonus, you're able to win a round, and then you lose straight away. Back to square one. So 50 seconds left on the clock. AGO beginning to pull themselves away from the B bomb site and go towards A. It looks like the more tantalizing option at this point, but Valiance know this. And so rotating a couple of players over towards that side of the map. They now have 3 players there, and actually Nexa is coming close enough that he could rotate between middle and A very quickly. And Hunter just walked in towards A main. Will get himself the 2 kills, but the Hunted becomes the Hunter. And it's Grubby with the headshot, or the kill coming in. We go. Auto dropped. 2v3. The advantage line with Valiance. This retake attempt might not even have to come in if they can just deny the bomb plant.
Nice shot from Grubby, but the bomb plant is denied. And with only 8 seconds left, they've got to speed this up. No smoke, no cover, and nowhere to run for Grubby. He will go down at the end of the round. And Valiance have done such a good job at stacking the correct bomb site. You said it earlier, that early aggression or mid-round aggression seems to be getting Valiance a lot of information. And they're successfully stacking the sites more often than not. They had 3 players ready and waiting on that A bomb site. But this time, it's going to be Ego testing the B hold.
Well, they did this previously. AGO wanted to lean towards the B bomb site. It was faulted. because they did lose the early player. So this time, essentially, they keep all 5 alive, especially with the weaker weapons. I think they've got an idea because of the information that's been gathered. The commit coming in with the utility. It's a play coming in. Alton has found himself one. Nexo was able to step up as well, and Esperanto quickly in with the rotation. It's just easy pickings here for Valiance. PHR is the only man alive here for AGO, and the bomb is on the floor right in front of him. I have to collect that and try and get it onto the site, but everywhere Valiance are watching, and so PHR, time is limited. Kill eventually comes in. Hunter will pick up 8, and that is already confirming Valiance at least a 1-round lead going into the second half. They'll be very happy with that outcome.
And you have to remember that Csgo were the team that actually got the early lead. They won the pistol round. They managed to get a 3-0 start to this game. The Valiance have been working their way back into it, fully in control of most of these gun rounds. Definitely feels like Valiance have turned things up tremendously as this half has gone on. And Csgo stuck with a weak buy once again. No nades to work with, so Letny can just spray away safely. Oh, he's going to mow them down. Full 30 bullet spray, nearly finding all of them. And Hunter will come in from behind. That round goes about as well as expected for Csgo. Not too much to be done there.
No, I think this game is... This half is close, but I think we both know, Alex, it's been a little one-sided in terms of Valiance's performance. You have to remember they lost the first 3 rounds, and 2 rounds that AGO have won have just been individuals, you know, very sporadic, unable to chime them together. Haven't really looked convincing, but as long as they can get... why has he done that again? Furlan is just showing the punishment that he gets for walking through that smoke. Hunter has been very good at sort of the proactive plays though. He walks in towards A main, he finds himself a couple of kills, but he's just that mid push hasn't exactly been too successful the times he's done it. He's picked up a kill a couple of times, but he has been punished more often than not.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't mind the decision to make an aggressive play, but Valiance have played fine and they've been winning almost all the gun rounds with just their standard plays, just kind of holding across the map and maybe going for a little bit of aggression later on into the round. But like you were saying, that mid push very likely to go against you more often than not. And Valiance are going to have to give up on mid entirely. They decide to fall back. That gives Csgo quite a few more options now, and it looks like they want to try and split towards this A site, but Letny gets aggressive in towards door and loses the duel. Esperanto needs this headshot, and it's a great kill, but the trade comes through. Csgo remain on top, but the bomb has been dropped. Oh, good kill from Caper. He needed to get that so they could get the bomb safely. Nexa is left alone on the A site.
This has kind of been a strange one, because it seems like AGO have just been on the defensive side. They've just had to wait for Valiance to come to them, and it's exactly what's happened. Eventually, as soon as they get enough kills, they just go over towards the B-bomb site. Incredible stuff here. A very strange one, and AGO want to try and post 6 here. Getting 6 on this board, Alex, is actually perfect for them. Considering it hasn't been that close in terms of the gun rounds, if they get 6, it is a close scoreline. And so, moving into the second half, if they have a good CT side, even a good start, then they could really start to rein this back in.
Yeah, not too bad for Csgo, all things considered. They get that 6th round on the board there. Valiance definitely looked like the better of the teams once we got to those gun rounds, though. I think a lot of that has to go down to Letny being that in-game leader. He was calling for those successful stacks quite a lot of the time, but it's also because his teammates were getting him all that early information due to all the aggression we saw from Valiance. They maybe had a player pushing in A main who managed to get the info, or sometimes it was a player pushing through B. It always allowed them to stack the right site, which makes the hold much, much easier. But now we've got to see what Valiance can pull out on their T side. They're in a pretty good position. Heading into the second half, they've got the slight lead, but they did lose that first half pistol round, which put them 3-0 behind. So we'll have to see if they can maybe turn that around here into the second half. definitely would favor Valiance right now with that 9-6 half, especially with how good they looked in those gun rounds. Again, it also seemed like Letney had the upper hand in terms of the sort of battle of the brains, if you like, in terms of the in-game leaders. Oftentimes, Spiro was running into stacks with his calls for the Ago team. I think it seems like most people agree that Spiro is probably the in-game leader for Ago right now. But whoever it was for Ago couldn't seem to make the right calls. It always seemed like Valiance were one step ahead. And that could definitely come through on the T side as well. If Letney kind of plays with the mind games a little bit, kind of goes for some fakes between the sites, then that could be a problem going on into this second half for Ago.
So, I'm looking forward to the second half. Obviously, Esea takes a little bit longer to get that second half going, but I definitely think, you know, Csgo showed some signs of life. I mean, it was more the mistakes made by Valiance, I feel, that allowed Csgo to pick up the rounds they did. So, Valiance, if they have a clean T side here and it's clinical, then that could be a bit of a problem for Csgo, depending on how strong their CT side is. I think if I remember back, though, Alex, their CT side was relatively strong. I mean, it had weaknesses on the T side from what I can remember. Obviously, losing your in-game leader will probably do that too. On the CT side, you can rely a little bit more on individuals. So perhaps Esea, if they to get the good start, they can build that momentum up on the CT side and see them maybe picking up the upset here against Valiance. But that's a fairy tale story, and let's see if they do come true. As we move into the second half, it's Valiance here on the T side. Got the smoke and a flash on Hunter, smoke and a Molotov on Nexa, and over on Esea. Utility, it's not that plentiful, only 2 flashbangs and a kit on Furlan, the rest with Kevlar.
Valiance all going towards the A side of the map. Like you were saying, a couple of smokes for the T's to work with, so that could easily allow that bomb to go down. Cape is trying to play on the A site, and the rotate is starting to come through. Ago starting to move towards the A bomb site, but will they be here in time? Those nades are already being used. Valiance will look to close the distance.
Flashbangs coming out. It's Kipper here with the USP headshot coming in. Gets himself one. Letney is able to reply back, and Furlan with the frag. 3v3, and Letney will tap away ahead. Furlan, Sparrow, and PHR into the 3v3 retake, and Furlan's got himself a headshot. Dropping Nexa. Now Letney and Hunter into the 2v3. Just got to hold on. They haven't really got that great of a setup coming into the post plant. Both players locked inside of the site. It's down to Hunter to land these headshots. Seen he can do it. See if he can show it here in the pistol, though, as Furlan's going to check towards me and realize it's empty. And because of this, that'll allow more time. Letney will be dropped inside of the site. Hunter with the quick tap with the Glock. Another one coming in, and what is that from Hunter? A triple coming in, and he just taps them all away for 6 here. That is incredible. Valiance will find themselves the pistol. It's 10-6 on the board.
That was so clean from Hunter. It was almost all just one taps. Bullets straight to the face. That's what made it look so good as well. Whenever Hunter's alive, you've got to be scared. Even if it's a 1v5, this kid is capable of pulling off the round win. And he proved that there, winning the 1v, carrying his team through for the round win. And I was going to say that Ago had a bit of a strange setup there on the initial A hold, because normally you either play for retake or you try and stack onto that A site on the pistol round to try and actually hold it. But Ago did a bit of both, where they were around the A site, they decided not to fully hold it. So they got a couple of kills and then allowed the bomb to go down, and it looked good for Ago until Hunter pulled off that magical clutch to put Valiance up to their 10th round win. And unfortunately for Ago, it's a full eco for the CTs into this subsequent round.
Well, I'm still kind of shocked that happened. I knew it was possible. I knew from the position he was in. I've seen that Hunter definitely has the skill to do that, and indeed that's exactly what happens. Hunter just taps them all away. The kill coming in from Valiance here. It's the Galil to strike first, and HR will get the tap back at long range with the USP, but Letney is able to trade back and keep it. Advantage for Valiance. So long range with the Galil might have some easy pickings, but as soon as I say that, PHR with another kill on the USP, and it's actually making this expensive. Letney will pull it back. At least gets the 2 kills there, and if he had fallen, Alex, I started to see a world in which Csgo would somehow win with only USPs. Valiance need to be careful. So now PHR has got himself an AK. No kits, no utility, and no Kevlar though. So the save call might be tantalizing.
Yeah, it looks like that's got to be the decision at this point. All things considered though, saving an AK, getting a couple of kills, 3 kills to be precise on this round with the full eco. Csgo will be delighted with this. Sure, they're pretty far behind in terms of rounds, but saving the AK certainly helps them get an even better buy into this first gun round. And with the amount of reinvestment we are going to see from Valiance here, it's pretty likely that if Csgo were to win this round, they would force the T's down to a low buy. You can see just how much Valiance have had to buy into this round. They have to buy 3 more AKs, full nades for all those players. So Valiance don't have much money in the bank either. This is a crucial swing round at this point of the game. Csgo could really do with getting this round win, and they will go for some early mid-aggression. Furlan is playing up close. He's not going to be pushing it through the smoke just yet. Ooh. I'm going to go for a counter boost on the Csgo side here.
This could really work. The bomb obviously being collected. Hunter making footsteps as the bomb dropped. Brilliant play from Furlan. He will spot that the bomb has been dropped. He can actually fall back and keep the advantage. That should slow the push. And really, Valiance are left with no other option but to commit on towards the A bomb site. And they find the kills, they find the site, and it is possible. But Csgo just backed off and left it for retake. And Ruby spamming away does so much damage. Valiance are incredibly low on multiple players, so this could get very messy as Furlan's already on the forklift. There's the headshot coming in. Esperanto finished off, and Csgo making their way back through with the 2-man advantage. They have got the kit alive on only one player, and that's PHR. But at least they still have it. Gonna move on in. Furlan still on the forklift, pushing forward, again finding success. He's got himself a triple. Audon finds himself 1. Letney with a double, and Furlan nearly has to do it all, but Groovy will step up. Chaos on the A-bomb site in the end there, but Csgo are able to make it clean in the end. Get the defuse in. Be 7 here for Csgo.
That turned into an incredibly scrappy round on the A site. It was just all about those trade frags trying to come through. Furlan was just able to take fight after fight there in that round, though. Just stuck around at forklift, waited for players to kind of peek towards him. Managed to get quite a few kills with that AUG. That was a real big problem for Valiant. But with the bomb plant, Valiant's decide it's worthwhile to go for another force buy. They have a couple of rifles to show for it. Csgo definitely have the better buy of the two teams. Again, their money isn't exactly that well established. So if Valiance could sneak away with a round win here, they would be in great shape to take full control of this game. I'm going to spread out into a default setup at the start of the round. And after seeing the mid-aggression from Csgo in the previous round, Valiance decide to go for a boost themselves, just to make sure they don't get caught off guard this time.
Going themselves over towards Squeaky. It's next at the Squeaky door. The rest of them coming over to congregate towards the side of the map eventually. They want to go for a bit of a split. How's Groupie not spotted Hunter's head? Here the vent crush open. So they know that he's up there. Just didn't quite spot him. Perhaps his eyes were trained elsewhere. Bit of damage done. Otto picks up the first kill. Keeper able to pull it back. 2 for 1. Advantage line with Valiance. The bomb finally gets planted on the default position. It's not going to cover off the cross.
Ooh.
This makes it a little difficult as there's a big gap in it.
Yeah, they had to go for the safe plant because Valiance didn't actually have a main control, and that might be an issue, but don't know if Csgo are going to bother going for this one. A couple of players are very far away. It looks like the save call has been made. And PHR gets 1 exit kill, but not before Ottend comes in for the trade. Csgo can't afford to lose these guns. They need to hold on to as many as possible here. Their money is really, really poor, so saving these guns was going to be very important. It doesn't look like they're going to get to save too many. Only the 2 guns saved. You can see Aego's economy is not looking good. I guess with those 2 saved guns, it might be worth just going for the force buy, but whatever happens, Aego's buy is not going to be great.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's better than I was expecting, to be honest.
They've got an AWP in play, 2 AUGs, MP9 and a Deagle, so not too bad. And the early kill coming in, that makes things even better for them. And Alden's going to make his way back in towards middle. He will trade onto Groovy, and the advantage is not lying with either team, but I'd say the control that Valiance have somewhat towards middle, it's an argument can be made that they maybe push themselves into control, as that headshot is perfect. Auto just flicks to the head of Sparrow, drops him immediately, and the advantage is strongly with Valiance. Did they lose the main AWP of Sparrow? The AWP has been picked up and recovered from Furlan, but still a 3v4 advantage with the Valiant side. They are leaning towards the B bomb site. There's only one player here, that's PHR. He's going to have to step up massively here. Needs at least 2 kills.
Yeah, pressure on PHR, but he's not able to step up to the pressure. Only does a little bit of damage on the hold and doesn't even get a single kill. And that means that it's going to be Csgo losing this round. I don't see any way they can win this, especially without the defuse kit. Interestingly, Valiance are already trying to hunt the 2 players down. Nexa is all the way over towards Squeak. Caper on the CT side is currently sitting in A main, looking to save just an MP9, so that's not exactly great for. And then Furlan is waiting in CT spawn with the AWP. It definitely feels like this round could have been the difference maker. Csgo were really hanging on by a thread, and that thread might have snapped at this point. Looks like Furlan will be fine to save the AWP. They don't check CT spawn. So that's something for Csgo to work with into this next round. But again, they're going to be very limited into the 6th round of the second half.
I think this is starting to reflect my predictions of the game. The scoreline in the second half, I think Valiance were the team, you know, we both pitched to be the favourite coming into this. There were signs of life from Csgo, but haven't really been too convincing. I mean, I haven't really been able to string 2 together since the start, I believe, when they won 3 in a row. So obviously, things not looking too solid for them. That's a nice little tap coming in from Esperanto. Can't quite get the second, so Letney will have to step up for that one. Does pick it up, so it's Furlan, Caper, and Groovy in a 3v5. Molotov is going to go up towards the heaven position. Groovy moving his way through. How lucky is that, Alex? Spamming away through the smoke, able to take the low HP of the player Esperanto down. Letney will throw a grenade on in and get the trade back, but it is a 4v2. At this point, it's hard to see a world in which Csgo even really get anything done. Save call coming in. Furlan will get the AWP over, hopefully into the next, and that could be a very impactful weapon.
It's the same 2 players saving again in almost the exact same 2 position. This is almost the same as we saw in the previous round, but this time Caper will not be able to get away safely. Martin manages to hunt him down, but again, Furlan stays safe in CT spawn. Exactly the same as that last round where he gets to save the AWP. However, at this point, Csgo are going to have to really up their game on this CT half. We always said it was going to be difficult for them. As soon as they lost that pistol round, they started to fall pretty far behind just in terms of the round scoreline. Now it's going to have to be an almost flawless end to this half for Csgo if they want to get back into this one. Couple of nades mid-early for Valiance. Flashes to follow, and it looks like Csgo are going to have a fight on their hands.
Well, Furlan will pick up 1. Gets traded back immediately, and Esperanto will find himself the double kill inside the middle. Great little start from him, and Caper, Sparrow, and PHR, they've got what looks to be an insurmountable task of trying to pull this back, but Sparrow does connect 1 through the vent. It's Esperanto to be dropped, and it is a 3v3. It's a call here from Valiance. Do they want to leave that B-bomb site completely open and attack in towards A? Obviously, they can't know it, but A would be the definite hit here. They have full control of it. They just need to use their smokes to cut off the vision of the one player playing back towards Cart. Throw a simple cross smoke. The bomb site will be theirs for the taking, and it's all about trying to get into those post plants quickly and holding off the 3 approaching players of AGL. They are just going to try and methodically clear the site, and that should signify to AGO that they are coming towards A, but PHR makes the play inside of Z, and he actually drops, so this makes things way more difficult here for AGO. They really don't need to take these fights, and they end up losing all the players. Sparrow has himself with no other options but to go for this, so 1v2 now, as he's picked up the first kill with the AWP. Nexa and Hunter remain on the site. Hunter's actually up on top of the E-box. He will be dropped by Sparrow, and it's all on Nexa. 1 versus 1. Nexa knows where he is, and Sparrow so close to making it happen. But Nexa will ruin his dreams. It's 15-7, and Valiance hit map point.
Spiro comes close in the clutch, but close is not good enough for Ago at this point. 15-7 behind. Seems like this one is almost all over now. One rifle bought by Spiro into this one. They don't get a single defuse kit on the CT side, instead opting to go for the helmets, which seems unnecessary against the AKs. Oh well. We'll see if they can just win out the fights. I guess that's what they need at this point. PHR gets the opening over towards B. Trade's coming through, and the counter boost is unsuccessful. Otten manages to get a double with the AWP. Finally, Furlan finds the trade, but we go into a 3 versus 3, and Letney gets another kill. Nexa spots the player on the A site, moves forwards, and finds the headshot. That should pretty much settle it now. PHR stuck in a 1-on-3.
Yeah, this should just be victory here for Valiance. Here on Cash, and indeed it is. Esperanto finishes off the job of the PHR, and a pretty convincing win here from Valiance. I don't really think I can say much about it though, Alex. It was just very much individuals winning in fights. I think there was mistakes made from both teams, but Valiance just made less of them.
Yeah, overall, I think Valiance definitely had some good calls there on their CT side, especially with the aggression we were talking about, and also being able to stack the sites. You know, Letney made a lot of those correct calls, but overall, just seemed like Valiance were slightly ahead in terms of those individuals, and also the trade kills were generally good for them. So solid showing from Valiance. I'm sure they'll be delighted with that win.
Indeed, they will. I think we're going to cast the Virtus Pro game right after this, unless the ESEA channel is on it, and then we might not be doing that. But stick around anyway. It's due to start in 1 minute, but I don't know if that'll be happening. Let me see what the score was in the Virtus Pro game. All right. We got 16-9 by Epsilon, so most likely we'll be moving on to that one. ESEA are currently not up on that channel, but we'll see what happens. We're going to go to a short break, and we'll be back with Virtus Pro maybe after this break, but we'll have to see if ESEA go on it. So, see you then.